Welcome to Get Your Shoe Together, the photographer's podcast where we discuss studio, business life, and keeping it all in line. I am Kara Derryberry.
And I am Mary Fisk-Taylor.
Hello, Mary Fisk-Taylor.
Good day. Hello.
Good day.
Good day. Good day. Good day. I will say good day for anybody out there who cares about sports, and I'm not talking to Kira. Great weekend for me for baseball. New York Yankees killed it this weekend. They were phenomenal. Like 9 home runs and sorry to any Brewers fans out there. Love it. However, right now is March, Kira. And what's happening is March is the NCAA basketball tournament. And they go in brackets.
Yes. I was told about this weekend.
Yes. And Tennessee Volunteers made it to the Elite Eight. And they lost yesterday to Houston. So they will not be moving on. And that's sad. That's very sad.
We're sad.
I'm really sad. We're sad.
Tell me how to feel.
I need you to feel sad about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, but also speaking of the weekend and speaking of running, let's send some healing love out to our friend Audrey Wankett, who went on her first run. Who went on her first run. I talked to her on Friday. I was actually talking to her. She's like, I'm going for my first run. I'm like, you go, girl. And Godspeed. And then she texts the group chat that she was running, and she was doing her walking part of the run, and Tony had ridden his bike, and then she got chased by these 2 huge dogs, and I forget what the names of them were, but I didn't even recognize the name, like that it was a dog. I thought it could have been.
That's what I said. I read in the group text. I was like, were you chased by a chupacabra? I have no idea.
Yeah, because she lives out in the, she lives in the country and kind of, she's land, lots of land. And I was like, are these like little boars or tiny horses? I don't know what these are. And then I looked them up, and they are huge dogs, like a bull mastiff size, and 2 of them. So she had to scale a fence, and she almost had to climb a tree.
I'm looking up what the dog is called because I'm sure people are going to want to know. Hold on.
And I literally put in the
cane corso.
Cane corso. And look it up. And then I literally put in, when I realized what it was, I said, Kira would just be dead. She would literally.
Oh, I told her, I said, I would have peed myself immediately, fallen down, broken my ankle, and then I would have been mauled. So that would have been it for me.
And my luck, first of all, it would never happen to me because I'm not running. Number 1. Number 2, if it happened to me, I don't know. First of all, my husband, he couldn't have gotten back fast enough on that bike. Like that, I just would have had to, because Tony ran back to her rescue.
Now he was on a bike, not a horse, right?
He was on a bike, a bicycle.
Okay, in my head, he was riding back on a horse. Like in the version that I saw, he was galloping back at high speed to rescue her.
And you know what? Tony Wankett would. Like if that was an option,
that wasn't far fetched.
No, he would, but he was actually already on a bicycle.
He was on a bicycle.
And turned around and came back. How she had the wherewithal to call him, or maybe she was screaming so loud he heard her. I don't know, but I would be also dead because I don't think I could have scaled the fence. And
I definitely couldn't have scaled a fence.
I'm pretty sure my husband couldn't have gotten back on the bike fast enough. But hey, guys, Audrey Wankett has been marked safe from, what are they called? Chiquichanas?
A cane corso.
Cane corso.
A cane corso, which does not sound like a real dog.
It doesn't, and I look it up. It's a thing, and
it sounds like a alcoholic drink. Audrey was chased.
Can we get a ring around a cane corsos, please?
Audrey was chased by a rum drink.
Yeah. That's a trigger. I don't know. Anyway, God love. So anyway, got to talk to her. I got that story. We're not laughing, but it was a little funny. And then we are in this group chat with just our friends that we were together all the time, and now we don't get to see each other very much. And almost died 1,000 deaths when I saw Gregory Daniels' little grandson with that huge drum set, because I myself had just been at Jeffrey Duchowski's big drum set. Yes. And Lorenz looked a lot cuter on his at that red drum set that I did, but I can't believe how big he is. That's insane to me.
I know. I can't believe how quickly they've gotten so big. In my mind, Greg's grandkids are still little infants.
They're barely born. I mean, he's got, Ashley's had 2, and I'm like, I don't know why I get so surprised every time I see how big Lauren, and they're so cute. And Kyla too. Like, I mean,
they both had 2.
Beautiful. But I it was just a fun group chat between Audrey getting almost mauled by the Chiquichanas and then the cute grandkids. And then I got to spend some time with the Dachowskis because thank you, New Hampshire PPA. I had so much fun. And some people had never heard of our podcast up there. And I actually got an email the next day. I just started listening and I'm addicted. And I'm like,
welcome, new listeners.
That's our evil plan. But on one night we were like, we just kind of been bumming around all day. I got to have brunch with little baby Lauren and we didn't know what to do for dinner. Did you guys know this is news flash. Manchester, New Hampshire is the home of the chicken tendy.
What?
I shit you not. When Jeff, because Jeff, he's like the Cliff Clavin of the group. He knows he just knows everything, right? Yeah. He knows everything. I don't care if you're like, I want to learn about roller skating clowns. He'd be like, you know what? I used to be a roller skating, or my great uncle was a roller skating clown. In fact,
the first roller skating clown was from my hometown, right here.
Right, where the chicken tendy was born. So Jeff lives in Bedford. We went over to this place who allegedly invented the chicken tendy. Mm. I have dreamt of these chicken tenders. I would go back to Manchester, New Hampshire for these chicken tenders.
You would, specifically.
Specifically. I don't know what they do to these chicken tenders, but I dreamt of them. I was so sad we couldn't go back because I had to fly home. And what they're also famous for at this in particular restaurant that invented allegedly the chicken tender, but Manchester is the home where it was invented, are mudslides. And I've never had one.
What? We're talking about the drink?
Yes. Well, because
not the natural disaster.
No, they're also known for yes, natural disaster mudslides that take out small. No, the drink. So the reason is, my understanding is mudslides are made with like ice cream. Oh, and I just always thought that what a waste of calories to drink a milkshake, like a boozy milkshake.
I think you can make them different ways.
They don't use ice cream, and they have every flavor you can imagine. Almond Joy, like 20 Snickers, 20 different flavors of mudslides, and they come in this huge. They're huge. You can only buy 2. That's how much liquor is in these mudslides.
Oh yeah. They're strong.
I didn't know. I didn't know. And here I am at the home of the chicken tendy, eating the best chicken tendies I've ever had in my life, with the greatest little dip and a mudslide. And you would have thought the Dachowskis took me to, La Cinque and Perry. Like, you would think I was. I mean, they should give that place pleasures. They should give it a Michelin star. They really should.
I mean, that sounds amazing. I mean, a good, breading, salty food.
Yes.
With a sweet.
Mm. Absolutely.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
Yeah, the mudslide was my dessert, Abby. But yeah. Anyway, guys, if you're near Manchester, New Hampshire, get a chance. Highly recommend the chicken tenders. Hit me up if you want to know.
What is the restaurant?
I think it was like Parsons Back Room or Pearson's Back Room or nothing like it would if it would be like if I come to Tallahassee, it's like we just love going to this place. It's if you came to Richmond, it's my galley, which they're not known for anything. I'm feeling Richmond has all of a sudden become very inadequate because we're not the home of anything special like this chicken tender. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Us either.
So highly recommend. And anyway, had a great time in Little New Hampshire and great group. They had a really nice, their group was really nice, went to the banquet. Lovely people. So shout out to them.
Oh, well, welcome New Hampshire listeners.
I love it. Yes.
I love it. Well, I got to photograph my 4th niece. Well, let's see. We have a lot of nieces and we have one nephew. We have a lot of nieces, right? And so I have gone through the Mosley kids, and they've all graduated. This is Kevin's sister, and they've all for each one of them we had a special trip to come to Tallahassee to get their senior photos done, and then so we've done the Mosley kids, and now we're doing Derryberry kids. So the first of Kevin's brother Bo's kids is graduating high school. So I got to do Kaylin's senior photos this weekend, and it was so much fun. And she looks so grown and beautiful. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen, you remember when these kids were not even born yet, and then they're infants and like every stage of life through. And now I'm doing their senior photos. So it's especially special. and we had a great time. My mother-in-law was here, and she got to, she's actually, I think, been at every single one of these kids' senior photo sessions. Yeah. So I got the tissue box out for her because every shot it was like, oh my God, you look beautiful. And she did. She looked gorgeous. She wore her prom dress that she is wearing next weekend to prom. Oh. And I went and got her hair done at the salon around the corner and at 850 Salon. And it was just a lovely experience. And I'm just so, I don't know, reflective and grateful that I get to do this little milestone for all of them. And they get special trips out of it every time they do. So the next one will be Natalie. And then the next one after that will be, well, actually the next one will be
Lucy.
Baby Lucy. Yeah. I'm just thinking of baby Lucy will be next because she's 16. And then Natalie and then Claire. And then we will have officially run out of nieces and nephew to do, and kids and Derryberry kids to do senior photos for. And what happens then? What do I do? Weddings? I don't shoot weddings.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to skip out on that. Right.
Well, I'll make good recommendations.
Yes, absolutely. Well, of course you will. Well, that's fun. So you had lots of family in town, which is just it's a blessing and an exhausting blessing, right? Like, I'm sure that's how the Duchowski felt when I finally left their house. Because I was just kind of moved my little self all in there. But that's great. We actually had a celebration this weekend. I got to attend a celebration that I'm not allowed to talk about, so I won't talk about it. But it was a little get together for a certain someone that is may or may not be having a baby. So don't tell. So, but it's all very low key. So I'll leave it at that. Not that any of them, not that any of them listen probably to my podcast, but very exciting. So I got to catch up, and and then yesterday I tried to do nothing, but I have critiques to do, and I had to clean my room. Like, I had not even unpacked, and I had laundry. I'd gotten out of hand. I think I just got home and I was so tired. I just have not, and I went right back to what the studio has been a little busy. I just have not been able to keep it together. So I spent like 2 hours just doing laundry and putting things away. And
it sounds like, I don't know if you have this problem, but I do. When I know there's something I need to do and it's not going to take that long to do it, I come up with 6 other things that I also need to do. But are they as high a priority? No.
But are they easier?
Would I rather? Are they easier? Maybe. Do they? Yes. Is it more of an errand, like of a I don't know. Yeah. So I have had things that I needed to do all weekend. Obviously I had family in town, so it was difficult. I banged out a couple of things after they left yesterday. And then I was like, there's 10 more things I need to do. But you know what I need to do instead? I need to do laundry. Laundry's important. I need to get the laundry done. You know what I mean? And so then I get up and I do the laundry. And then now I'm in Laundry Town.
Yes.
Now I'm, and you know what else I need to do? I need to go get, new shoes because of the foot, which I did do, by the way. I got Hoka's.
Oh, I love Hoka's.
Yeah, they're very, very comfortable. I have my carbon fiber insert that I had to get for my left foot. And so far, so good. But, I'll be honest with you, everything sucks to wear. But I this is my only pair of like really, really comfortable shoes right now. And so I started looking up like what to wear with black trainers. Like I know what to wear with black, but it's like literally my everyday. Like I'm going to have to go to the board meeting and I'm not going to have another comfortable pair of shoes to wear. So I have to be semi-professional in black trainers. Is that possible?
Because you're wearing black ones.
Yeah. Well, they're black with big, white, thick soles.
Yeah.
And that was what I didn't order them. I went to REI.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because I wanted to try a bunch I tried on Brooks. There was like a list of recommended shoes for this. And I tried on Brooks. I tried on the Hoka's. I tried on, there was another brand I can't even remember now. But I got literally laughed at when I came into my Converse, like by the REI lady. She goes, "You did what? You broke your foot, and you're wearing those." And I was like, "Well, it's all I have."
Well, now that you mention it.
So yeah. So they are black, which wasn't my first choice. I picked out a cute pair online that they said they had in stock, and then they didn't, of the Brooks. Okay. And then this is what they had, and they're fine. They're cute. I sent it. Larry Lursey highly recommends Hoka's. And then I sent him a picture to confirm, look, I listened to you. I got the Hoka's. And then he sent me a picture back. We have the same ones. So that's weird.
You and Larry.
Me and Larry have matching Hoka's now. I mean, yeah. So,
wow.
But they're, they're just black and white.
Yeah.
Which I was already wearing black and white shoes anyway, so it was fine.
Yeah. I just have the all white ones. They're just all white.
That was not an option.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's not for, like, you can't wear this with everything either, right? Like, that's not always a good option. I struggle. I like Hoka's, but honestly, I think they're great. They're real mushy, right? They're real smushy. Like they're
mushy, but they're very like locked in. Like I ended up having, just because of the nature of the injury, I'm wearing wides and I'm wearing a half size bigger than I normally wear. Like because they're so padded.
Right.
So yeah, I'm feeling real sexy coming up on 44, Mary.
Sounds like it.
Just feeling feeling great.
Like
My birthday is on Saturday, and as we discussed, and I'm being served ads. They know everything about you. They know your age. They know everything. And so the latest ad that I was served was, studies show that age 44 is when there are two ages when you show the most physical change in aging, and it's age 44 and like 60 or something like that. And I was like, cool, thanks. I know that's not true, that I'm turning 44 and I don't know what this study is and you're trying to sell me something and whatever, but F you ad. That was not nice. It was like age 44 is clinically proven to be the age where your face ages the most and you have the most physical change. And I'm like, that's not nice.
No, it isn't nice. Trust me, I get it. Actually, I totally get it.
I'm not worried about turning 44. I think it's a cool age. Like, it sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a lot cooler than 56.
I mean, 56 ain't bad, right?
No, it's all I got. It's all I got.
It's where we're at.
It's where I'm at.
But
yeah, it's where I'm at.
Yeah.
So that's where we're gonna stick with. We're gonna be grateful that we're here. So
we're gonna be grateful that we're here, that we're healthy, that we have 2 feet that move together now.
Yeah.
In unison.
That's true.
And
the bar is low right now. No.
The bar is so low.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So
yeah. So I made a terrible marketing mistake.
Oh. I'll be the judge of that.
Well, the data's going to be the judge of that, but sure, jump in. So there is a very, very pinpointed area. It's about 45 minutes outside of Richmond that I want to be in, meaning it's just one area, one zip code. You do the search on there. I mean, the homes in there are nothing like 2 million to 40 million, right? Like it's the place. It's the place where a lot of people have a country house or their equestrian home or like whatever, but it's old. And then there's some newer homes. I have a couple clients in this area and I want more. So, because as much as I believe in digital marketing, obviously, I mean, I use it, I do all the stuff, I believe in it. But I just know that I'm not going to get through to these people with an email and certainly not a social media ad or anything like that. That's not where that's not the level they're at, right? That's just not them. Okay, good, cool enough. No problem. So I created a brand new, beautiful, and I thought, well done, lookbook. And it's, all installations, very little words, all the stuff, and I printed it. It's not too thick. Put them in our beautiful vellum, hand addressed every envelope. There's only like 154 of these homes, and mailed them first class with a, call to action. I mean, and I in my mentor, like my mastermind group, I shared it. Everybody's like, yes. Like I got feedback before I went to print. Like I just feel like I nailed it. And one of my very dear friends that I reconnected with recently, does most of the interior design for many of these homes. And I was like, I'm so excited. And and he went, honey, And I went, what? He goes, they don't get their own mail. I'm like, excuse me. They're like, he goes, babe, they don't go to the mailbox. Like, they have full-time house staff. They have cooks. They don't get their own mail.
Well, how do they see their mail?
Their like social secretary or their house manager will just
pre-screened,
give them whatever. Yeah, if they have to see it at all. I mean, they're not sitting down writing checks for the for the AT&T, for the Comcast bill. Like they're anything that they don't have, because they're so. These are families that when you think of big products, like they are that family, right? Like like Heinz, okay, that they don't have it. So that's like they're not reading their mail. And if I had done that in a neighborhood that I'm also targeting here in Richmond, where the homes are like, 950 to 3, yeah, they're getting their mail. They're living their life. They're taking their, but this is a whole different level of people that I can't digitally market to, because they're not paying attention on that. And they're certainly not going to open my emails, and they don't even get their own mail, because I do believe direct mail is crucial for me right now in this digital world. As much as I love digital and AI, I know that I'm going to get through, because people go to the mailbox now and there's nothing there. That's why your higher end luxury brands are doing direct mail more than ever. And this is in my mastermind class that I'm in, that I'm learning, and I'm getting ready to go to Chicago for 4 days to learn more. I believe in it, but I just I never thought of it that way, Kira. Like, I didn't even think that was a thing. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, it didn't occur to me. They don't get their mail.
Oh, no, that is not something that would have occurred to me either. So, and you haven't had, how long has it been? So there's no way to, you haven't seen any return.
It's been a week, and I have had none.
0 return.
Zilch. Now, I will say that we're getting ready to go into equestrian season. So a lot, like I said, a lot of them aren't there. A lot of them are in Boca or what they're in. So they could, if the house staff saw it, because it is hand addressed. That was one thing my friend said. He said, thank God you hand addressed it, because if it's automated, it's going into the garbage. But because it's hand addressed, it might be on their desk, and they might come home and open it. And the 1st of April, they'll start coming back and being there for early spring and for all the horse races and steeplechase and all that stuff. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. Who would have thought?
I wouldn't have thought, but what it makes me think is, should you think of them more like corporate? And only because you've got to get to the right person at the place.
Correct.
Right?
I literally nailed it. 2 things. I either need to backdoor market, because I need to figure out who their social secretary is, or who those people are, who the house manager is, and get to them, or partner with a vendor like an interior decorator or blah, 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 and have them say, oh, you have to use these guys, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. That's the only way I'm going to get access to more of these people. And then once you get in, you get in. As a matter of fact, I actually was up there on Wednesday with my friend that's the designer, and we're going to do some. Oh, I know. I'm going to start doing some commercial photography for him, and then gradually, hopefully, meet the people that way. That's the only way I know, because once you get in with one, then it will. This is what he was saying. He's like, I got one house, and then I had 20. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a very close-knit, very closed group. And his business is here in Richmond too, so it's not like they won't. Richmond is the big city, the closest big city to them. So they come here for whatever, because it is out in the country. To the point where, like, you would have peed your pants. Like, we got halfway there, and like, there's no way to go to the bathroom.
Second time in this episode.
Flashback to us leaving a Yankees game one time, and Kira madly underestimated the traffic leaving a New York Yankees game.
I forgot about them.
We'll just leave it at that. No, she did jumped out of an Uber and ran to a Dunkin' Donut, and we just left her. The driver's like, "What do I said? Leave her. I don't know. She'll get another Uber. She'll make it over to Louis Vuitton or not. I don't know. I'll be there."
Yeah, nothing could be done. I'm sorry.
But anyway, so nothing's there. It's nothing is there type thing. So
yeah.
Anyway, I love, I want to share, it just is baffling to me that I didn't think of that, but why would I think of that? Like, you know, and I have clients that have tons of money, but I guess that's a different kind of money.
No,
right?
but I mean, you're right about it's a different kind of money. I mean, it's a different kind of existence. I mean, what is life? You know what I mean? Like if that's
this is generational wealth. I mean, these are literally Johnson and Johnson family. Like it's that kind of wealth.
Yeah. So you have to think about like, how do I get in? And I mean, I think you're absolutely right with the interior designer would be like clutch. I mean, like what if it was included?
Yeah, they just texted me, so I'm definitely. It was kismet, and the crazy story, whatever you want to believe in or whatever. And I'm all in and let them right now. And I bet you haven't started it yet, but started listening to it. Just start listening.
Don't accuse me of not reading because I haven't.
Okay,
no.
But you could listen to it on your if you listen to it a little bit on your way, especially dealing with just people in general. But the chapter on dealing with family hit really. I think you would. I can't believe nothing, but I believe in things a lot. And this is a person that was in my wedding. Like we were at one point kind of best friends. We hung out all the time. We were both going through very weird adolescent things. We were at that 19, 22 years old, going through everything. We thought we knew everything. We thought we were so cool, by the way. So cool.
Well, you had banging hair.
Yeah, we did. I mean, Becky with the good hair, and he's so handsome. Anyway, we had a falling out that I never knew why. I never knew why this happened. Like he was in my wedding, like and I have no idea what happened. He just kind of stopped speaking to me. And I'm like, well, I'm a lot. So, go find less, cause I get it. I didn't, it hurt me. It always left a hurt. Like, cause he's also non-confrontational. So he would not discuss it with me. I just stopped talking to me. Come to find out, he was in a really funky relationship for a long time and lost all of his friends during that time, including his very, very best friend. Anyway, we now have talked about it, but get this. All right, anybody that knows me, you may know something about me. Guess what I did one day? One day, I had to, last minute-ish, decided I was going to Mexico to meet friends, and the only flight I could get that was not like $3,000 was on Spirit Airlines. Are you okay? Kira,
and you live to tell the tale?
When I tell you I was in the Spirit line, my Delta guy walked by and he went, "What's going on? What are you doing?" I was like, this is all I could get. Like,
the Delta guy from in the airport?
Yeah, because my airport's small. Like, I know all the Delta people.
Yeah, my girl, when I check in back, she's always like, "Miss Derryberry."
Yes, where are you going today?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm in line and it's early. It's one of those 5 a.m. whatever flights. And I look behind me and I'm like, that guy's really cute. And I did a like triple take. And I noticed him doing the same thing and it was him. And he also was supposed to be on his client's private jet, but decided he wanted to stay in Richmond with his husband was in town. So he didn't want to leave town. So he said, like, I'll just fly commercial tomorrow. I'll meet you in Boca. And, not only did we see each other, that we have not seen each other. We had not seen each other in 20 years because Jax was 5 or 6. We sat next to each other. Now, the crazy thing about that, y'all, is he had never flown Spirit. I've never flown Spirit. I also was flying with Jamie, and I booked all of our tickets, and I messed up, and Jamie and I weren't sitting beside each other. We always sit beside each other on the plane. Yeah. But I think what happened is there was only one big seat. I know what happened. Spirit has 4 big seats, which are like first class seats. And then the rest of it's just regular. They only had one. So I took
I know. Yeah, that sounds right.
I took the big seat. And Jamie did not get a big seat. I keep pretending like, I don't know
what could have happened.
I'm such a liar. Anyway, so we sat by each other and we talked the whole, and it's one of those early flights that you would have been so annoyed. Like you would have hated us if you were sitting anywhere near us on that flight. The guy behind me, have y'all ever had like a kid or a dog that, when the seats are close together in a car and that one like kid or dog, and y'all can't see me, but Kira can, where they just kind of stick their face between. And you can the guy behind us kept sticking his face in there. And I'm like, he hates us right now. And we reconnected, which has just been,
that's beautiful.
It's made my heart grow 10 times larger. Like it's just what it's done for me personally and emotionally, because I think things have been so heavy lately. And it's just the right time. And we both are working on our businesses. And anyway, so I spent the day with him touring and talking, and I'm gonna do a bunch of commercial stuff for him because he needs some marketing help. But he's the one that had to tell me. I'm like, dang it, why didn't I ask? Oh, I don't know why I didn't ask him first. But it's there, and you know what? It's only been a week. Like, I'm not going to give up on it. And it wasn't a huge investment. And what do I always say? You either succeed or you learn. You succeed or you learn. So
Right.
I've certainly learned. And I do think that I do still believe that I will get one or two people from it. It might not be right now because they're busy, and maybe after Easter, you know what I'm saying? Spring break is happening over these past few weeks, and then Easter. But maybe, early summer, somebody will say, I got this back in March.
Here's my hope is that one of them goes, you know what, Anderson? Today I would like to get my own mail like the regular folk.
I know.
And not today, Anderson. Today I will go to the mailbox. Could you, but if you could just direct me towards it. Where is it again?
Where is the mailbox? And I bet, and y'all would be so, I'm at one of these homes, and I had to sign NDAs to go into most of the places. So I can't, but I'm one of these homes, and they had a bunch of mail on the island in the kitchen. And I kind of glanced through.
And it was all
to see if I could see my thing. And I was going to just put it on the top, but I didn't see it. So, and I didn't touch their mail. So I have not committed a crime, but I really thought about it for a hot second. I was like, if I see that envelope, I'm pulling her out and putting her on the top.
oops.
Oh, guys. But I guess I was so proud of myself. So I just the reason I'm sharing this is because A, I think it's funny and it's such a Mary thing, but B, it's just, I was so proud of myself, and I really believed in it, and I did the work, and I did, I went in my mastermind group, and Donald Miller's in this group, one of these groups that I meet with once a month. They looked over it, and I got so many seals of approval, and I was so excited, and it just did not cross my mind at all. But so we try things, and then I could sit here and beat myself up over it. I could, I wasted a couple $1,000s, or I did this, or I did that. I'm not going to look at it that way. I refuse. I'm going to still believe in it. I still believe it's going to land in somebody's hands, and it's going to at least pay for itself. And I learned a really valuable lesson. So I'm not going to beat myself up over it, because that's what we do, right? We believe in something, we get so excited with something, and then it doesn't work out. It starts just chipping away at you,
Mm-hmm.
Jamie actually texted me last night that the last couple sessions that he's photographed, that he's just felt like, he goes, I don't know what to describe it. Like, I know it's fine, but I don't know, things weren't hitting, or I just was off or whatever. And last night he said, oh my gosh, I finally feel like I'm back. Like, I feel so good. He said, for us, we always, after we photograph a session or do something, we always say, I absolutely have an competition image in it. And that's not because we will actually remember to even enter the image, but I want to walk away from every session thinking I would enter that into image competition, and my peers would evaluate it and they would love it. For some reason, that's how we check ourselves, that we're doing our best. Even though we don't normally do that. But he goes, I feel like I've got 12 in this session alone. I'm
wow.
And
good on him.
And he had really been down, really down. And so I was so happy for him, because we all know I know you get that a lot. I think
I'm there now. Yeah.
I don't tend to care as much about that as y'all do. But I do care. Don't get me wrong. But I just think I can make it look good. But the marketing thing, when it doesn't hit, I really get down on myself. So yeah. So that was my big lesson for the month of March. So
That's a good lesson. It's a good lesson. And it's niche, but it's also it's also this could apply to a lot of things. I mean, you got me thinking about, you remember when I was trying to launch the I can't even think of what it was called anymore, but where I was taking snapshots of people who maybe have passed, like my grandmother, for example, and then, having them digitally painted and trying to sell that product. I love that image that I had made as an example in my home. Like we were just staring at it, me and my mother-in-law yesterday, and going, just admiring like how good it turned out, and how and I was talking to her, and I was like, it just really didn't take off. You know what I mean? Like it just really didn't take off. And then, but you've got me thinking like, maybe I did it wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that it's a bad product. Right. It's that maybe I didn't launch it correctly. Maybe I didn't reach out to the right market. Maybe I didn't approach the market correctly. So I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe that's a good inspiration for me to revisit it, you know?
I agree. And you know, the funny that you bring that up is because, excuse me, the funny thing about that is that I think that might be one of my best ways in, because these people all have, at least here in Virginia, they all have not huge. They have very large, very beautiful, you know, oil paintings, freehand oil paintings. But they have, I mean, I saw one of the homes. We went over to their store. I'm talking like a old stable full of just images of like their great grandfather who invented this or that or what, you know, like these people who invented.
Oh, there's definitely a market here for that.
Yeah, who invented, you know, Budweiser. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these huge stacks, and they all need to be digitally captured, restored, at least digitally captured, so that their grandchildren, great grandchildren are going to have them, because they're just sitting in boxes of this old film, you know, images. So I think that's probably what I should try to market to the house people, because they're the ones that are managing these homes, and they have all this stuff and they don't know what to do with it.
Right.
And they do want to save it. And what are you going to do? We all, you know, what are you going to do with all those framed 5x7s and 8x10s? Like,
exactly.
They're just sitting in boxes. So I feel like that might be my end more so than coming at them, like coming in from the side versus, you know, straight in with what I want. Because I think if I could get that, then I could say they really need to update the family portrait. Is everyone going to be home this summer or Easter or Thanksgiving or whatever? So I agree. Maybe timing was off. Maybe whatever. I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, okay. Good nuggets.
Yeah, something to think about. Anyway, but right. Live and learn. I guess.
So much of my life is living and learning, Mary. I keep living and I keep learning.
Yeah, you know. And speaking of that, I gave my digital marketing program in New Hampshire, and I would say the majority of the audience was older, you know, my age, and maybe even a little older or a little younger, around my age. But there was a solid core group, and they sat in the first and second row, I'm going to tell you right now, of young people that are under 30. You know, they're young, and they were taking notes. They were asking questions. That made me feel like $1 million, because as soon as I saw them sit down, I went, those little, they know more than I do about this stuff. I'm going to feel like an idiot up here. And most of them didn't, which made me feel better. They were asking questions, and then the people my age and older were doing the same thing. And it was so encouraging to see, and this isn't a huge group, but, you know, but wanting to understand chat, wanting to understand, you know, heat tracking or retargeting, whatever it is, you know, I was talking about. It was so cool. And the coolest thing of all is how many of them came up to me and said, I don't know if I should be offended by this or not. How many that came up to me afterwards and said, I can't tell you how good it is to see someone your age trying to learn all this. And I went, and they, you know, these are people older than me. That really, watching you do it, like, I know I can do it. So, you know, I know you're teaching your class, which you should talk about that here in a second, but like, I don't care how old we are or how young we are. This is all new to all of us. And we all do need to learn that too. So as much as I'm believing in direct mail right now and all that, it does not mean I'm dropping the digital marketing side at all, because that for nothing else, it's just the biggest time saver in the world for me, versus I don't have to hire extra people anymore. I'm using AI for that. I mean, would you agree with that part? Like,
I 100% agree with that part. Yeah. Lovely.
Yes.
Well, where are we going to be? I am, we're both going to be at Texas School here coming up in a few weeks. In April, I will be teaching a one-day class on April 25th, I think. Saturday of Texas School.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I think you'll be there all week.
I think you're the Saturday the 26th, but I could be wrong.
The Saturday of Texas School before it starts the pre-con. I will be there.
The 26th. I know, because I won't be there because my chosen son's getting married that day. But we'll be there all week teaching. So Kira will be there the 26th, and I'll be there all week. And then we have our next online brush oil class starting. That's in May.
Mine's also in May. Yep. Our ChatGPT summer session is going to be starting on May 12th. And that's going to be a completely online workshop. If you want to know more about that, you can go to bosslevel-ai.com. To sign up for that. And then I've got some classes in July that I'm teaching in Illinois. I forget where else I'm teaching, but there are other places.
And I think my next one is June. I think I'll be in Houston. I'll be back in Texas, June 17th for the Houston group. So yeah, we'll be around checking things out, teaching, learning, doing all the stuff. If you see us, always, say hi. We love to meet you guys.
Come say hi.
Yeah.
Come say hi. All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up for this week. You can follow us on Instagram at Get Your Shoot Together. Follow us on Facebook at Get Your Shoot Together. Email us at girl@getyourshoottogether.com. And subscribe to us everywhere where podcasts are played. We will see you guys next time.
Thanks, y'all.